We're statement from head coach, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes, let them go, and then questions for coach. So go ahead.
Good afternoon, I think, whatever time zone we're on. But just incredibly proud of this team, proud of these guys for what they have done to get us here. And it is these young women that are next to me. It's also the young women that we just finished up a practice with. They what they do on the field, what they do off the field, to get us to this point is remarkable. It's definitely an inspiration what they do, because it's more than the game, and the fact that we get to celebrate it and that we get to compete, not just go out there. We are competing, and thrilled for that opportunity.
All right, questions for the student athletes. Ethan, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess all of you can maybe take turns just taking this question, but what has this meant to y'all to make it this far? This is a first in program history, right?
Yeah, I think that this group is just so special. There's so much love that we have for each other and for softball as a whole, and it's just awesome to be here with everybody.
Yeah, I'm proud of this group of people. Like, we work well together, and to make program school history is huge. I mean, we have such a huge support system behind us. Our weight coaches, our athletic trainers, all the staff at SLU, they're all rooting for us, and we're looking to make some waves.
Yeah, I mean, for 8 of us, this is our final season. And so to be able to come up on top this last season has been so special. You know, having another week, just getting to grind, practice, and play ball with all of our best friends is just incredibly special to us.
And looking at y'all season, it hasn't been a straight line to get to here. Really had a turnaround and been really hot ever since then. Do y'all, any of you know just like a specific time that you thought it was starting to click and you can look back on and be like, that's when we became the team that we can be?
I think for me, like looking at our first conference weekend, obviously it didn't pan out how we wanted it to, getting swept like we did. But putting our head down and getting right back to work, coming back after that was definitely the turning point on that.
Yeah, I think the St. Joe's sweep, first sweep of our season this year, kind of rebuilt confidence, and we saw like the grind actually pay off, and it feels good to win 3 games in a row. So, I mean, 3 games ahead of us. So.
Yeah, I mean, we had a 15-game winning streak, and that kind of occurred after we spent the night in the airport. So just bringing us all together and rallying around each other, especially when we face adversity, getting down, going back to work after a tough weekend like that. And then all up from there.
I need some more context. Set the scene. I'll spend the night in the airport. Which airport? Why?
So connecting flight in Nashville, coming back from Philly, turned night in the airport due to tornado warning, really.
Really bad weather.
And we had an early flight out, so it came to having to
just 5 hours, just 5 more hours with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not typical. This is not standard procedure to stay in the airport, but with the flight delay, it was either leave, take a nap at a hotel for 2 to 3 hours, or stay there and then talk to some of the team. They said, "Coach, not ideal, but this makes the most sense." So it's on you.
Well, and then looking at the recent A10 tournament y'all had, I mean, you had to defy the odds to make it all the way to the championship and come out on top with just the format. Just what do you think that weekend did for y'all to kind of have that resiliency to power through and come out on top?
I just think being in 5 one-run games, it tests you as players, as people, as teammates. So you really like lean on each other, trust in what we've built as a team. And they're intense games. Like, we really felt it after 3 days. And you want to say you left it all out there, but then we picked up the pieces, put it back together, and we're here now. So I think we have a huge backpack of experience in like intense moments and just like leaving it all out there. So we brought that with us to Fayetteville.
I think looking at it, didn't y'all beat Dayton there, correct? Which is the team that you began conference play. You said with whenever it wasn't going right. What did that feel like as far as like a full circle kind of that being the team that helped get you to where you need to go?
I think it just showed like all of our hard work and everything that we put into the season kind of paying off, and like everything just kind of working at the right time when we needed it to.
And then last thing I'll ask is just what do y'all know about Arkansas from the prep that you've done looking at their team?
Challenging lineup of hitters for sure. I think our pitchers are prepared to mix things up, throw a couple big strong hitters off balance. And yeah, they're going to be a tough opponent, but we're a tough opponent. So just bringing our best game against them, confidence when we're on the field, acting like we've been there when really we haven't. We're going to be here tomorrow to show out.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, sorry guys, back here. Hey, whoever wants to take this, I saw your team kind of taking photos, taking in the memory, seeing your logo up on Bogle Park. For anybody who wants to take this, I mean, what is it like just being here? I know none of you guys have played Arkansas before since the last time your team has played in 2018, I think. So I know you guys haven't faced them, but what does it mean to just be here in Fayetteville? How do you like the ballpark?
I mean, I think overall, I mean, this is the dream. I mean, we play softball and goal is to make it to a regional at some point in your 4 years playing. And so I think it's just special for all of us to be here.
It's a beautiful field. It's a beautiful field, but it's a softball field. You know, we've played softball our entire lives, so going out there, it's rewarding to see a big name on the back screen. But you know, bases are 60 feet, fence is 200. You know, it doesn't change much, but it's definitely raises the excitement level.
Yeah, definitely just a fun atmosphere. Our team, we like to have a lot of fun together and playing ball, and so just the scene is just a little bit nicer. So it's just exciting.
That's interesting. You saw that because it is. There's an excitement. Taking pictures. Let's do it now. Let's do all this. Practice itself, intense. What they did, they separated from that. There's the enjoyment. There's the excitement. We're scouting the field. How fast does it play? How does it play off the wall? So there's the experience, absolutely, and the intensity to get to work, which was very impressive.
Oh, I believe you. We want to practice. I like to see when people are excited. It's nice to see teams excited to be here. I'm sure you guys know that Hog fans are pretty crazy, pretty wild, right? And calling the Hogs, have you guys seen how they call the Hogs? No?
Woo!
Close. You got it. Is it going to be exciting to just be in that and play in that type of atmosphere? How are you guys preparing to play in that?
I think, I mean, we have some crazy fans. We got some crazy fans too. So, definitely just going to be excited to play the opponent, but also just play the game. And, yeah, we have some crazy fans. I think we can compete.
We were lucky to go to Hawaii this year, and there was an island of people rooting for Hawaii. So I feel like, you know, we're bringing St. Louis to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and trying to represent our city.
Yeah, I think they said it best. So
Do you have any questions from Zoom for the student athletes? Eric, go ahead.
For the players, how would you describe St. Louis softball for those that maybe are going to be watching it for the first time this weekend?
I would say we never give up. I think there's a lot of big moments. Our pitchers are faced with challenges every game. We play with our hearts on defense and our heads on offense. And just like we're never going to give up at the end of the game, top of 7, bottom of 7, there's always a fight, and never count us out.
Yeah, I would just say gritty. We're just a gritty bunch. And yeah.
I mean, I'd say we're always in it until there's no more strikes on the board. Game's never over. So.
And then you mentioned that airport situation. Was that like a turning point for this team? Was that like a moment where if that doesn't, that because of that, you're here today? Maybe that does, you're not here today if that doesn't occur. Is that one of those turning points for the season?
I don't
think that it's like the turning point. I mean, because we all are a tight-knit group. But I think it definitely allowed us to bond just a little bit more and play for each other more on the field.
Yeah, our journey doesn't look like anyone else's. So I think, builds character.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys can, if you want to stay, you can, or we can get up.
I'm good.
Okay, good. Oh, Coach, we'll stay with you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Well,
You
now
guys
take
can go.
We'll now take questions for Coach.
Coach, this is 15th season at St. Louis. What does this team mean to you to be that first one to make the tournament?
Oh, it's a special, and I say group, but it's not a group, it's a team. because group are, a bunch of individuals with gloves. A team is a cohesive unit heading forward with a common goal. And what's really special about this team is they embody all the alums that built it and set standards and raised the bar. And these young women kept pushing forward. So it's very special. It's a culmination of years of work of young women that have worn the Billiken head on their chest, and it's special.
What have those years of work looked like for you to build this thing to where y'all have this breakthrough moment?
It's an investment. There's no doubt. You see little investments at your field. You see investments in recruiting. You see investments continuing to pay off. And again, the quality is better and better and better and better and keep raising. So yeah, there's work that's put into it. There's exceptional assistant coaches that I've had over the years. I've got an exceptional staff now, and then go back to staffs that have built and continue to do the work to get us where we are. A lot of behind the scenes that I don't have enough time to talk about, but a lot of behind the scenes go into this.
From your perspective, when did this team figure it out for the turnaround?
I agree with what Taylor said. It was that Dayton series. That was kind of you prep. There's always a rivalry with Dayton. It's a big A-10 rival for us. And so you have that series coming up, opening weekend. We're fired up. Again, weather played into it. They talk about staying in a hotel or staying in the airport. Our bus broke down on this trip. We've had a ton of adversity. So we have weather throughout the season. So these are all good signs. But we had weather throughout the season. We shifted a little bit at Dayton and got there and had a tough first series. So to start the A-10 0-3 and then finish with a 2 seed that was significant in the championship series is exceptional. That turning point after Dayton, we go back that week of practice and talk to our players, not reinventing the wheel and not let's hit them hard. It was quality, not quantity, and quality fundamentals. We moved our feet faster. We hit our spots better. We stayed on top of the ball better. We went back to fundamentals and really honed in on the pieces that make us great.
Wait, bus broke down coming here or to Dayton?
Come here. We had no air conditioning for 10 hours and what should have been a 5-hour trip. This is not whining. What should have been a 5-hour trip turned into 10. Bus broke down with the air conditioner and we blew a tire on the way. And they're here and they're practicing. These are true stories. These are true stories.
Hey, it seems, you wouldn't be able to tell seeing y'all how energetic you are. What does that say, I guess, about this team that y'all, adversity off the field clearly is a thing too for y'all, that they've just stuck together.
Absolutely. Their perspective, anybody, and it would make sense, anybody to get irritated or anyone. It's hot on the bus. You can get irritated. You can get upset. You can, why us? They turned it around and said, why not us? It happens. Their resiliency, their ability to look beyond what's going on that can be a negative thing is, again, off the charts. We talked about that going into the series for the A-10 championship series. We talked about emotion, and sometimes negative emotion can take hold. It's a game of failure. And if that negative emotion starts to rise, that's what we need to squash. We instead embrace positive emotion. Not everything is great. I get that, but you focus on the positive things that you have, what you don't have versus what you have. And they've embraced it. They've totally embraced it. And it's been wonderful to be a part of that.
Nolan, on this, just what do you see from Arkansas first opponent up?
And there's no doubt they are a power team more than they are a speed team. They definitely rely on their bat. They have the ability to drive the ball. There's no doubt. They're in and congrats on getting a 4 seed to host. It's a big accomplishment. They do things well. I've known Courtney Deifel for a long time, and I know she runs a quality program. They're also human, and we talked about that factor as well. We have opportunities to attack their pitching. We stay on time. We have opportunities to keep them off balance. And I think it's going to be a battle. Throw your shoulders back and go out there and compete. Absolutely.
How far back do you and Courtney go? Where does this start?
She is a colleague. Carol Bruggeman is our Coaches Association executive director, and they coach together at Louisville. And I've known her from Louisville, so that's been right after not long after I left Purdue. So probably like late 90s. Let's not talk age, but it was late 90s, somewhere in there.
Eric, go ahead.
Well, Coach, you've had an adventurous travels this year with buses and airports. How would you describe this year?
Uh, an adventure. I like that word. It has been an adventure since day one. And it's a journey, an adventure. It's exciting. I don't have one word for it. Um, but it's also again, I keep going back to resilient. I keep going back to that to keep it simple. Is you can throw anything at us. The adventure, it's the journey. You don't get caught up too much in the destination. You get caught up in what's happening at that moment. They've done it. They've done a tremendous job of it. Like I said, and I could really go on. We had pretty much every series but St. Joe. We made some adjustment to the timing. Weather was a challenge this year, so we've made some adjustment to that timing. And they kept, okay, coach, kept throwing it at them, and they kept going with it. So definitely adventure. We'll go with that one.
It's a good word. What would you do? What is the key this weekend to having a successful weekend? If your team does blank, you'll have you like your chances. You'll have a successful weekend. What is that?
No, it's compete from pitch one. And there's compete, not get caught up in anything other than the competition. The shoulders go back, whatever the count is, whatever the situation is on defense, compete in that moment and not make it too big. I think slowing the game down, we've said it, it's the environment is the experience is a little different, but we've been in championship scenarios, a ton, 5 of them where our season was on the line and we came ahead and came ahead and came ahead and came ahead. So I do think there's a staying in the moment, competing till there are no more strikes on the board. And if there are strikes on the board, we're going to put our best foot forward. So it's staying in the moment of competition.
And then my last question: what was it like Sunday night having that selection show? I'm assuming you all got together and watch it. And were you expecting Arkansas? Were you surprised? What described the night?
Well, Natalie Sullivan has some kind of TikTok out there where we all were picking, for the most part, picking Arkansas. There might have been in Florida or somewhere in there. But no, not necessarily surprised with Arkansas. Again, location, when you talk NCAA. But it's a historic moment or an historic moment where to see your name on the board, we had a lot of parents there, a lot of fans, a lot of alumni, a lot of people in the department. They sent us off yesterday, and then 10 hours later we got here. But to see your name on the board, to see your name in against Arkansas, to see the game time, to see it real. We knew it. We won the A10 championship. We knew it was going to be there. But until you actually see it on that board and know that you're the first team in the history of the program to know the growth, to know the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that, to know what St. Louis, again, this team as student athletes, incredible GPA and incredible athletes, to see it up there it's hard to put into words, but pretty remarkable.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you.